My name is Kayla Wollison. I was 26. I was pregnant, my third time being pregnant. I was in a very on-again, off-again relationship with the father. I was on my way to Wyoming from Arizona on vacation and had a sneaky suspicion I might be pregnant, and took a at-home pregnancy test and thought, well, it could be wrong, and came and did my vacation anyways. Met with my best friend and shared with her my concerns, and she told me about True Care. At that point in my life, I really thought, if this is happening again, I'm repeating a cycle here, and I'm gonna go ahead and have to, have another abortion. And I'm now 26. This is, getting out of hand. And I was just down and embarrassed. But she brought me to True Care, where I got a picture of the ultrasound of the baby, and they did confirm my pregnancy. I let the father know, and he was not very excited, as expected. And I'd planned, he basically said, you know what we got to do? And I said, yeah, I do. So while I was at the center, I was given some resources. I remember a book. On my way back to Arizona after my visit, I stopped in Albuquerque for the night and just didn't have any more go in me. So I stopped, got a hotel room, tried to relax for the evening, couldn't find anything on TV, had nothing to really do, and I remembered I had that book, so I thought, well, might as well read something, try to fall asleep. And as I read that book, there were some verses and some things that I had never really heard, and so there was a Bible in the room, and I picked up the Bible and started cross-referencing those verses. And through that book and through that experience, I wish I had the right words to explain it, but I felt as though I was being talked to directly by God. And I was convicted of my 2 previous abortions and knew that I needed to ask for forgiveness. And I just fell down and asked for that forgiveness. And I just remember feeling this feeling that I can't explain, but it was gone, but there was a peace, and I knew what I had to do. I knew that I was going to have this baby. So the next morning I woke up and decided I'm going to do everything I can to be as healthy as I can. I remember having my last cigarette that morning. I had one more cigarette left, and I smoked it and threw it out the window in Albuquerque and made my trip back to Phoenix. And once I got there, I shared that with the father that I was planning on keeping that baby. I'd needed to do so. And at first he was really upset, and over time the idea kind of grew on him. Through that, the father of my child had some drug addictions to prescription pills, and eventually it got to a point where he got really sick and took his own life. And during that whole phase, I had started what I didn't realize was probably a prayer journal. I just started journaling, and I started journaling to really talk about my feelings and watching him through his addiction and my concerns. And eventually those just turned into prayer after prayer after prayer. And I'm so fortunate I was growing in prayer that when that happened, I really had the strength of Jesus through me to get me through it. And I think I was about 7.5 months pregnant when it happened, and I didn't know one day to the next day what I was going to do and how I was going to financially afford things. And it was amazing. I had a community around me that fostered and shared so many baby gifts with me. So I was really blessed through all of that. And it was one day I was still on maternity leave, and I was looking online. I Googled Bible. I knew I needed to get closer in the Word. I just didn't know how. And I remember I got really, really frustrated because when you Google Bible, there's like hundreds or thousands of different options. And I thought, well, how am I supposed to know what to get? And one of the ladies from True Care happened to call me and follow up with me and ask me how everything was going. And I shared with her what had happened to the father of my child, and she asked to pray for me. And I'd never really had anybody ask me to do that. And I said, of course. And she prayed for me. And then afterwards she said, is there anything I can do? And I said, well, funny you ask. Sounds like you might be able to help me find a Bible. And she did. I don't remember, a few days later or a week later, I got a care package with some things in it, and there was the Bible. And he kept blessing me throughout my life. One of my really good friends my whole life came to visit me on my maternity leave and wound up being my husband, who happened to be a son of a pastor, who even helped me learn more and get me into Bible study. And I grew more and more in the Word of God, and to this day now that Bible is a little worn. But I truly believe that if my best friend would not have taken me to True Care, and I wouldn't have been given those resources, I would have, again, I would have had another abortion, and I wouldn't have my daughter. Such a beautiful thing to be able to have that baby, and knowing what I know now, I would have never done those things. And I think it's important that you don't just listen to what everyone thinks you should do. You need to be able to pray on that and really do some soul searching and know that it's the right choice for you.